Okay, so over the past couple of months or so, we've been covering one particular VTuber, which has been annoying a lot of the mainstream streamers, which I thought was quite funny, and all over Marvel Rivals. Now, if you don't know, Dokibird has played a lot of Marvel Rivals, and there's a whole situation with a Twitch Rivals incident quite a while ago, where essentially, she ended up kind of getting having to sit aside as streamers like xQc and Shroud complained about her team and the matchup of it, and then they ended up winning anyways. Now, of course, this was quite funny because later on xQc has been continuously going after VTubers and continuously kind of bashing them, and a lot of people have just put that down to essentially Dokibird derangement syndrome, where essentially, he's still mad, he's still coping, and he's still upset at the fact that he lost to a VTuber's team, right? And there's been many cases of this being called out, including the VTuber award incident, saying the funniest thing about this entire situation is that the biggest anti-VTuber instigators and seethers among these Twitch streamers seem to be xQc and Shroud. Guess what those two have in common? And obviously they put Dokibird there with the victory screen after they won, and obviously, I think it is absolutely hilarious to see how much xQc has been crashing out over Dokibird and VTubers in general, and kind of taking it out on VTubers in general, right? Now, it seems like though recently there's been a little bit of a switch up in terms of a clip that has come out with xQc actually defending VTuber idol concerts, which I think is actually pretty interesting, right? And obviously this is a clip saying, if people enjoy it, go ahead. Who am I to say it's not any more invalid or valid than any other concert? Every other concert is the same, lip sync, faking, whatever. If I were to argue, this is actually more of a performance. And yeah, obviously, this is the clip here. We won't play it all, but we'll just play a little bit of it. And as you can see, it's a Suisei concert, by the way. So yeah, he's obviously
what is that? Live concert at the K Arena, Yokohama.
xQcL.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if people enjoy it and they want to do what they do, I mean, go ahead. I mean, it's not like it's illegal or anything like that, right? I mean, who am I to say do this, do that, don't like this, don't like that? I mean, it's not any more invalid or valid than any other concert if you really think about it. Any other concert is the same thing. It's just lip sync, faking, whatever the fuck, like performing. If I were to argue that it's actually more of a performance than most real concerts, if you ask me. I mean,
63 months. I'll be back.
So yeah, obviously, as you guys can see there, xQc is actually defending VTubers, which is the first time I think I've ever seen that. And obviously, I never thought I'd see the day that I'd see him defend VTubers, but this has gotten very popular, right? And obviously he's just saying, yeah, if people enjoy it, then I'm not going to say it's invalid or anything like that. I do think that is 100% the case, right? And it is very funny to see this kind of happening, especially after all of the kind of bashing he's done towards VTubers. But in this case, I think, yeah, obviously he's had a little bit of a switch up here. Obviously a lot of people saying fair take, saying this dude is all over the place. One moment he hates VTubers, the next he defends them, which I do think is, pretty funny. So didn't he crash out at Doki before? So xQc is so funny. Once every few months, he just decides to have a good take for some reason. Suisei is proven to heal people with people for true. Demouse does his concerts with a helmet on. Literally, the main sole reason Hololive exists is for concert and singing. It's an idol company. His chat actually restarted without the S word. And yeah, obviously his chat were going pretty insane there, saying it should be illegal and things like that. Which, again, it's a concert, let's be real. There is nothing like illegal that is going on here. There's nothing that would even be argued as illegal that is going on here. I don't know why he even brought up the word illegal, but again, obviously he did. But some people were saying that it should be, even though it is literally just a concert. And obviously xQc is even defending that fact, which I think, it's fair enough. And I'm glad that he actually does have that opinion, and that he does actually defend them for once, instead of sticking with his biases whenever it comes to disliking VTubers. Now, obviously, I also made a post kind of talking about this, saying, you know, did he manage to get Dokibird out of his head? Never thought I'd see the day that xQc defends VTubers. And obviously, as I said, xQc as a person is great. Obviously, I still think, as I say, great. As I'm saying, it's great that he has changed his mind. But I think his actual chat are the ones that are a little bit more stupid, because there was a couple of people commenting on my post as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's saying, I'm just hoping, you know, it's not performative. I'm genuinely hoping that he's switching up. I said I used to watch him back in 2018. He used to like Miku back then as well. And obviously, someone else also put this saying, retards, but Dokibird, xQc switched up. xQc 6 years ago. Now, did I mention anything to do with VTuber concerts? No. I mentioned VTubers. I just said defends VTubers. I never said defends VTuber concerts or even defends concerts. Because if you're trying to say this is xQc defending VTubers, Hatsune Miku, the well-known VTuber, since well, right? And it just shows you that this is obviously an xQc fan, right? Because Hatsune Miku is not considered a VTuber. She's considered a virtual idol, sure. And of course, it does show that he has been supportive of 3D concerts and things like that in the past. But that does not mean he's been supportive of VTubers at all, which is the point that I was making in the original post. And I think people that are trying to like use this as a gotcha, like, oh yeah, he's always supported VTubers. Look, he supported popular VTuber Hatsune Miku, who is, you know, obviously we all know she's not like fully real. Like, again, I think it's crazy. But I think a lot of people, are getting confused over that. And I think it just goes to show you the level of understanding that his chat have whenever it comes to these kind of situations, and how uninformed they are whenever it comes to clips and posts like this, right? And of course, there is a Dexoto post on it as well talking about it, which I think is crazy. Saying xQc is defending VTuber Hoshimachi Suisei for performing real-life concerts for fans. If I were to argue, this is actually way more of a performance than most real concerts. They're having fun with it, which again, yeah, 100% true. And I think he is right in that. And I'm glad to see that he hasn't used his biases again to kind of have another opportunity to bash VTubers, because he could have, right? He could have went, oh man, this is so weird, I hate this, and kind of pushed his thing even further, being, you know, and obviously many people will call that out and say he's continuing to be salty about the whole Dokibird stuff and whatever. But it seems like this time he actually decided to praise it, which I think is a really nice change, right? And, you know, as I said, it was a very easy opportunity to dunk, right? Like it was very, very easy. It was literally there. It was hanging there. It was ready to be taken, but he decided not to do that, which I think obviously a lot of people have been pretty appreciative of. Say, the question is, who would hate or criticize her? Life is full of strange people. That they're not hurting anyone, they're just having fun, which is yeah, true. People said heartbreaking, the worst person you know, just made a great point, which I think is quite funny. Said Miku has been doing it for decades. At least Suisei is a real person, which yeah, obviously saying, didn't this guy trash talk VTubers? Which yeah, true. Saying this guy has actively said nice things about VTubers for a while, and the only thing that he has been saying stuff has been heavily targeted over the past drama over and over again. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the replies here are already dragging up the Dokibird drama. But again, I feel like this person is kind of, you know, downplaying, you know, a lot of the trash talking that he's done towards VTubers, especially recently, right? I feel like xQc has undergone a bit of an opinion change in terms of his stances on different things, right? And it seems that more recently he has been on the offensive in terms of VTubers, right? And pretty stupidly so too. He doesn't really have a reason to do so, apart from, you know, obviously a lot of people just kind of finding it funny that it could be due to Dokibird. So again, I think that, you know, obviously it is important to bring up the fact that he has been kind of, you know, been bashing VTubers for quite a bit now, and obviously this change is nice to see, right? Because xQc is 100% right on this one. VTubers like Suisei actually deliver live energy and talent that beats most stadium shows. That I'm so confused. Did this guy also hate VTubers in December, or am I just mistaking it for somewhere else? Which obviously, yeah, they are right. So he's gonna switch up on it because because bro literally crashed out of a Marvel Rivals tournament, which I think is quite funny. You know, people saying, how did this become news? Hollow's been doing shows for years. Did they not hear about Grimoire, All for One, or like a handful of other shows? Which obviously, yeah, I do think it's true, but you know, they're talking about the fact of it, the concert itself. think VTuber concerts aren't anything new. They've been happening for years in Japan, which I guess maybe the way that they Dexerto frame it might be like it's new. But again, even then, I don't think they're really trying to claim that it's new, but that's fine. I mean, again, some people just trying to clarify that, I guess, because, you know, VTuber concerts aren't a new thing, just to kind of say that. They've been around for ages, right? But this is all to do with the clip about xQc talking about it, rather the fact than them trying to say this is a new thing that people are calling out, so which obviously isn't the case. But yeah, obviously I just kind of wanted to cover that because I thought it was a pretty interesting situation and a little bit of a follow-up from the whole original Dokibird situation, and I thought it was quite funny to see him actually defend them for once, which I think, you know, is great, and hopefully he can do that more in the future. But obviously I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, reverts back to factory default settings and you know, maybe starts bashing VTubers again. But hey, we'll have to see, only time will tell, and of course we will have to keep on watching, right? But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. They also have 20% off for the rest of the week, so definitely do that, because if you use the same code, you can get 20% off using code Kaza. And yeah, so you know, now's the best time to get things because you can get it even cheaper. So yeah, definitely go check that out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.